A word for our listeners. Achtung Cthulhu is set in the 1930s and 40s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, a Nerd's Domain gaming podcast. Join us each week as our investigators uncover the corruption of the mythos in World War II. Starring George Chimples, Phil Durham, Rob Walker, Justin Kimmet, Shirley Niedzwiecki, and Scott Troiano, with Matt Quiett running the table as the keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed Nazi cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hi everybody and welcome back to the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm here with Shirley.
Hello.
George.
Hello.
Scott.
Hello.
Phil.
Hello.
And Rob.
Having a great time.
I know you are. I am, of course, Matt. You'll notice that Jesse is missing tonight. Unfortunately, Jesse's car is having some problems, and he may be leaving us for a few months. We're going to try and get him in as quickly as possible. There are technical issues to be considered. But as soon as he's available to come back, he will. So it may be a little awkward as we move around Jesse's character, but he is still there, and I will roleplay him as appropriately as possible by being irritated with Evie for whatever she's doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And throwing money at buying his niece as a prostitute.
Oh my god.
That's role-playing appropriately. So you guys were on a boat getting ready to head to the Panamal Canal. There's a plan to steal books from the British gentleman, the Earl of Sandwich, if you will, and his very exotic wife. And that was, George, you've been making friends with the crew. And that has been kind of the deal. So the professor,
Yes,
and Augustus are actually upper on the upper ends of the deck, upper half of the ship. You're like in the
where the real people are.
Yeah, yes, that's a way to look at it. Sure. Meanwhile, Gorp, you and Carlos are on lower decks, as well as Mr. and Mrs. I forget what name you guys gave. Did you give? Flood? No,
because Flood's murdered.
What was the name that you used?
Fosworth Gimbleton.
Gimbleton. The Gimbletons
right.
have rejoined us and are on below deck as well. So you guys enter the Panamal Canal, and as I understand the Panamal Canal, which means I don't understand it whatsoever, especially in the 1930s, it's very boring and slow. You essentially go for a little bit and stop and wait and go.
And they close some doors and they change the level of the water.
So
they open some doors.
It's slow going and it's kind of boring. But dinner comes and you got to serve dinner no matter where you're at. Professor, you and Augustus will be joining them for dinner. That was the plan.
Yes, I believe we planned quite a fete.
I'm sorry.
That's correct.
Did I understand the words you just said? What can you say those again?
A party. A meal. Great meal. It's good. He's right.
Yes, a fete.
Was it in English? Was that English?
Yes.
Okay.
As opposed to American?
I don't know.
Okay.
We're stealing some graves from this guy. Some tombs.
So, you guys join Mr. Or Captain Wilkerson, Mr. Wilkerson and his wife for dinner that night.
Yes.
It's not a late dinner, but it's not right at dinner time either. They told you to plan for that.
Based on our previous conversation, I think it was supposed to be a rather extended meal with...
yeah, but they just didn't want to start like, oh, look, it's 6 o'clock. That's when everybody else is going to show. They wanted to show up when they wanted to show. Meanwhile, the other four of you are going to be storming the bedroom. Is that what I'm to understand? Any of the four of you could tell me yes.
Yes. No? I mean, I can be like serve as a lookout.
Storming wasn't the anticipated plan.
Sneaking.
Entering calmly.
Picking a lock, coming in.
Well, we would have discussed this. Who's good at lockpicks? I would assume that Schultz and Gorp are. Maybe not Gorp, I'm not sure.
Not Gorp.
Okay, then.
We kick doors in. We don't need to unlock
Right,
them.
right. So theoretically, Schultz
Locked
is, yes?
in a thing?
I have a 1% chance at the locksmithing.
So none of us can actually enter this room, can
No.
we?
Well,
But
not-
you've
No.
bribed someone who perhaps can get you in.
Marshall, do you not have the ability to pick a lock?
Marshall would kick the door in.
Okay, well then kick it in.
The person that we've been paying lots of money to ferry people from here to there, he might be a good person to say, hey, can we get into this room?
Yeah, but that was what you guys were paying him. Us lower class individuals were not paying this guy and thinks that we're just a bunch of weirdos.
And a
there were-
prostitute.
So we should have a discussion about how we're going to get into this room, shouldn't we?
Yes.
That'd be a good idea.
Okay.
Have you made any associates that would have that skill? You being chummy with the crew.
Lower class.
Can we get
They
a
would
key
have that
somehow?
skill if they're a lower class person.
Not
potentially.
necessarily.
Sailors
Just because they're, well, perhaps, but just because you're lower class doesn't mean you snog better than anyone else.
But
Could we
if
theft
you're a sailor,
a key
if you're a
somehow?
sailor, it does.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's just break
I'm
down
not
the
a
door.
sailor.
Fine.
Well, but I'm not necessarily against the idea of bribing an individual who might have keys. There is already the aforementioned understanding
That sounds
we're
like a wonderful idea.
all a bunch of perverts because I would let
Paying
my
someone to
wife
perform
be-
a service? You're not opposed to that?
The problem is
Stealing a key, no.
Okay.
So only certain services.
the people I've been talking to might be able to lockpick, but they wouldn't have the key. The stewards would be the only ones to have keys to the room.
Well, the steward was the one that was ferrying my wife back and forth, was he not?
Maybe the professor should broach the subject with that individual.
Perhaps. Professor?
Are we moving this back a bit?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
No, we're all standing out the side of the door having this conversation going, why don't we adjourn for 5 minutes?
The other option is that Commander Schultz, you could tell the steward that you were given money so that she would join the Earl of Sandwich in his room and have her let in.
Oh, so perpetuate the myth.
Yeah,
she's just touring with it.
It's already out there. You might as well use what's already out there.
I said I would cooperate anyway.
Near the hallway where his room is,
I didn't want to.
Why are you looking like that?
I'd like to make a roll jury rig maybe to basically kind of like mess up a pipe so that I can come back to it later and try and look like I'm fixing it and act as a lookout for while whoever's going in the room.
Yeah, roll jury rig. That's a use of the skill.
Yeah, I failed that one.
Okay.
I don't successfully break a pipe.
You
The pipe is
Or-
an excellent repair.
I fixed the pipe well.
You break the pipe in a way that you cannot fix it.
Cool. Well, I get away from that scene quickly.
Sabotage on the boat. It seems that the boat is listing to the
Sabotage.
side and it's slowly saying no.
I leave without telling anyone.
Okay, so Scott, will you be approaching
Yes.
anyone? Okay.
I will approach the same steward that had done the ferrying previously.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Will I be ferried?
I have.
That would work really well. Because if she's ferried right in, she's got the books and she's out. Boom.
Go ahead, Scott.
I would like to discuss with you an arrangement that I have been approached for this evening and thought it would be of interest
Well,
and that
the,
you might be able to assist.
Will the professor be looking for companionship again tonight?
No, one of the professor's dining compatriots, a gentleman by the name, I believe, Wilkerson, was...
the Earl, yes.
Yes. That gentleman was hoping to perhaps have tea and conversation with my wife this evening.
I wasn't made aware of this.
I was approached and was given a sum of money for her company.
I assume my money was also in that.
Of course it was. And I...
What would seem appropriate? The same amount that has been ferried back and forth before.
Plus, for you mean for his portion of the money or the general?
His portion, yeah.
That plus 10%.
Okay.
10, 15%, depending on the easy math version of that.
Yeah, he doesn't count it. He just stuffs it in his pocket.
Yep.
He says, okay, well, where is the feisty young lady?
She's in our steerage cabin, our steerage bunk.
Oh,
And
would you like to bring her here? I'm not going. No, you can do that.
Certainly. I will go fetch her now.
Okay, I'll wait here.
Certainly. And I come down and I go, here's what the steward has agreed to take you to ferry you to the Earl's room to retrieve the books.
Sounds wonderful.
Excellent. Then if you'll come with me,
Try.
I will lead her back to up the stairs to the deck where the steward is, and then motion from her to him.
So he motions for you to follow him, and he heads towards what you would guess is one of the very nice rooms.
Yes.
He unlocks the door. He motions for you to enter. Says, now the door will lock behind you. Please don't leave without a key.
Do you have a key for me?
No.
Then why would I leave?
Okay, then we're on the same page. You have a nice night, and then he pulls the door shut,
Okay.
and leaves.
Rifle the room as fast as I can.
Roll. Where do you think they would be? Like, because that's where you would probably start.
Well, due to all of Evie's stories, I would probably look for a trunk or something that would have intricate designs on it or something like that.
Well, and you know that you've never heard of him before, right?
Right, I haven't heard
Okay.
of him before,
But you've
but
heard
I
of-
know of the
okay.
books.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, so you start with the trunks. There are two large trunks. One is filled with women's clothes. One is filled with women's clothes and other things. And then there's another trunk. It's filled with journals and books. Not just the books you're looking for, but several books. Some of them occult. Some of them just the history of the Third War of the whatever. Like there are just history books. And
How heavy is this trunk? Like, would I have to pull it with great strength to get it to the door?
Yeah, and it's going to be scrape.
Yeah. Where is everyone? Where am I supposed to go after I get these books?
Roll luck for me.
Oh, 25, yeah.
Do you stick your head outside the door
Oh.
to look and see if anybody's around?
We would have made a plan.
What'd you have?
Yeah, why wouldn't we have?
'Cause you
After I get the
haven't.
books, where do I go?
You come right back to us, was my understanding.
I'd be
get the
milling
books.
about somewhere.
Yeah, so you got your luck. You stick your head out the door.
Well,
Yes.
question. Prior to her sticking her head out of the door, isn't the door locked?
It's
Well,
able to be
I
open
can
from the
open
inside.
I thought
but
it
if
locked from the in. Like,
No.
No.
If it shuts and she's not in there, she can't get back in.
Oh! I thought it was locked. Like it would go in.
No,
he pulls the door closed. It's locked. Okay.
No. So you stick your head out, and Carlos is standing there. Looks like he's working on a pipe, and then there's a clang, and it kind of he kind of looks around and sees you, and
Carlos, come here.
Okay.
so you pull him into the room and show him the trunk.
Yes, so I show you the trunk that is full of all different kinds of occult type books, and we need to get this out of here now.
It's the ones that we want.
Plus a lot of others that we could learn a lot of things from. Don't you agree?
Yeah. How many could we take if we removed the covers and smuggled them out in our clothes?
8.
Why would we remove the covers?
Less bulky space.
Yeah, but that's that damage. Like, it's not good.
These are books of evil, so it doesn't matter.
Great.
Oh, remove the covers of the books?
Yes.
Shirley was thinking dust jacket. Like you just
I
slide the
thought
dust
he
jacket
meant-
off.
No, I thought he meant remove the covers off the bed and we put them in the covers. and carry
No.
them
He's
like
talking
that.
about no.
No, I knew the books.
You could probably get 8. So
And there are eyeball number.
And no, Shirley,
a small
he's
trunk
talking.
full.
Open the book. / take all the pages. / throw the
Aren't
cover
they-
away.
I'm
Is
gonna.
there icky books?
Yes, there are quote icky books unquote.
Nice.
There are probably 25 books in the trunk plus 7 or 8 journals.
Why do you want to remove the covers?
To make them easier to smuggle out of the room. it's harder to hide a
I'm
book
not
in
sure
your.
if I'm comfortable with that.
With what?
Removing the covers. It
Yeah, okay.
damages the books.
So
Okay, what is the bigger picture here? What do we need? Okay, we need the books. We have to have the books. We need as many of them as possible.
The halls are relatively empty since it's dinner time, so moving the trunk won't be that big of a deal. But once to get it off the boat, that might be a little harder. But you're going to be
Then we'll
taking...
have more people with more books. Maybe we should just take the trunk.
okay, if we
can I
get caught with
pick
the
it
trunk,
up?
we'll be thrown in jail. But whatever.
What now? What'd you say?
Will I be able
Or the
to
brig
pick it
is what
up?
these sailor people call it.
Will I be able to pick up the trunk? Am I
Not by
strong enough?
yourself, no.
With Carlos.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably. I'm not sure what your relative strengths are, so I can't say yes or no.
She's stronger than I am.
Oh, is she?
Oh yeah,
What's your strength?
12?
And yours is what, a 9?
8.
20... Yeah, you'd be able to pick it up just fine.
So how many books did you say were in there?
25?
And we can only carry 8?
That is correct.
What if I stay here and you go with the others?
Do you have knowledge of the dark arts?
Why, what do you mean?
Are there spells put on this trunk that if we should move it, it would do something?
You could roll a cult.
Cracker Jacks. No.
No, it looks fine. You don't see anything.
So you tell him no, you don't know the dark arts, or no, there aren't any markings that suggest there are traps.
I can't tell if there are any
No,
markings
no.
that suggest traps.
You are positive there are no markings on there.
I am positive there are no markings on this trunk that's going to cause a trap.
Well, your word is good enough for me. Let's take it down to the lower decks. There are some places that are not too well trafficked where we can hide them away.
But you could go get the other guys. The commander and professor and and then bring them up here and we could all carry them down.
I think a lot of people entering this room might draw attention.
Everyone's okay. What do you? Okay, fine. Whatever you feel is best. That will not compromise the mission.
Sure. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys grab the trunk. You head down. Where are you headed on the lower deck?
Into an unused maintenance space.
Okay. You go into there, drop off the trunk,
Yep.
and then from there, where are you headed?
Grab the Gorp and Schultz.
Okay.
I'm sitting on the trunk.
Sure.
Oh, you come and grab me?
Yes.
Where is Miss...
We found treasure. Had to be moved by 2 people. It's in a safe spot for now.
Wait.
We need to get it off the boat.
Wait.
Quick.
Okay. Miss Gimbleton, or Mrs. Gimbleton, has the books and is bringing them to us?
No, they are way too many to be brought.
She was only supposed to grab the ones that...
There's way more. That's what I mean by treasure.
Where is she now?
Maintenance space. Below decks.
Marshall, can you come with?
Yep.
What I'm saying is we need to get these out and leave immediately. We have what we need.
Oh, okay. All right. And we're having this conversation on the way to where she is. When we get to where she is, my instruction is going to be, we need to pull out the books that we needed to retrieve. We need to take those back and secure those with us, and then we can worry about... I want to separate out our books from the treasure trove. Because do you think we could leave the trunk here and make it through the canal, or do we not have that much time?
I say we just disembark and go.
How are we going to get off the boat in the middle of the locks? I mean,
Lifeboat.
That was the original plan, was lifeboated out.
right when we were out in the water, not
No,
in the water. We were just
in the lock.
Yeah.
drop down
Okay.
the side, row 10 feet over the shore, and book it.
It might be more like 40 feet, but yeah.
But even still, yeah.
Yeah.
Then let's do that now.
Okay. Should someone go grab our compatriots from up top? The rest of us go have a lifeboat?
Do we want to involve the professor and her uncle? Or do we want to let them finish dinner and let them get off when the boat is searched? Or have them taken into custody?
We can carry all the books,
Right.
the three of us.
I worry about leaving them behind.
Why? It
If
won't
anyone has made the
be-
connection between us, they will be in danger.
When
don't
we
wanna leave my uncle in
lifeboat off of this boat,
Yes.
we will likely be grabbed immediately.
Okay.
American
by-
territory, that's where
by-
you come in.
Right, by I was going to say, but there's a contingent of Marines that stay in the canal at all time, and we're going to be grabbed immediately.
Here's what we're going to do. The three of you are going to start to lifeboat early. After I give you a head start, you're already down, you're already below, I'm going to go start a fire. And we're going to have a nice little freak-out session. I'll grab our compatriots, we'll lifeboat off, and we'll meet you on shore.
That sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Works?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so the three of you head to the lifeboat. I assume you're getting everything ready, and then you're going to disembark quickly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you let anybody know what you're doing? I mean, you made friends with the people on the boat, so...
Would there be anyone I know that's likes me enough and or shifty enough that I'm like, hey, we need to get out of here quick?
Yeah,
That they wouldn't narc on us, basically.
one of the deckhands you've made friends with, and you know that if you drop enough money with him, and we're talking like $100,
Sure. I asked
That-
for $100 from
somebody.
the commander.
I'll need a receipt.
Sure.
Spy doesn't work like that.
I know. I'm like, okay, here's $100.
Yeah, so I'll grease some palms to
Yeah.
maybe you can ready a lifeboat for us or something.
yeah. So you guys...
Two, actually. Ready 2 lifeboats. One on one side, one on the other side for the other people.
Now, these are huge lifeboats.
Sure.
So, I mean, like, you could put like 20 people in these.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that... Once he finishes with one, can he go and do the other one so that these
Yeah.
guys can have an easy off point?
Yeah. It would be just as easy for them to come to this one, but yeah, he can.
But I thought we're leaving.
They're
in
going to
one
go first.
Oh,
They're
okay.
leaving on
we're
one
going to-
first,
we
and
hope
we're
to
gonna
hit the
follow
water.
another one.
Gotcha.
We want
Gotcha.
them on
They're
the water
using
and
the
out.
confusion to get the other 2 out.
Okay.
Gorp is.
Okay. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Just as an option, if there's another way to get off,
Right.
feel free, but know that there will be a lifeboat prepped for you guys.
I would hope that he told us which ones are prepped, the deckhand.
Yes. Yeah, I'd get him
Right.
word to you
We
guys.
need to know which ones are prepped so we know which ones to go straight at and get down.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys go to the boat. He preps it. You guys get in and get ready to go. You go, Gorp, you go set a fire. That doesn't take any real skill. So,
Yay.
do you then go and get the professor and Augustus,
Yes.
and you head for the other.
Well, when I go to set the fire, the immediate response is I'm going to start yelling fire, fire, and then start just a mass confusion in the main banquet hall.
Okay.
So that's the goal, and then I'm going to grab 2 of their shirts and start pulling them out like I'm pulling someone to safety.
Okay. Hold on.
Where are you starting the fire? As in the Earl of Sandwich's cabin?
That's a good idea.
Except you have no access anymore.
I could start it at the door.
Okay.
As long as it's not going to block our egress.
Okay. That's fine.
Like, are there windows
No.
in the cabin? No.
Portholes.
Portholes?
These are not
to the
like
porthole.
you're not going to put like nice big windows because it'll just
I'll
break.
Spider-Man on the wall and... No.
Okay.
Cast fireball under.
Because I was thinking some fire in there could be like, well, that's why your trunk burned up.
Yeah, no, that's
Hey,
No, but if we do it, if we do
thinking.
it, if we do it at the door, I can kick. At that point, I can kick the door in.
you could try, but these are going to be metal doors. It's going to
Oh,
hurt
that's right,
a
I'm thinking.
lot.
Yeah, I'm not a smart marshal. Well, actually, yeah. Never mind. I realized that.
Okay, so you set the fire. As you go in and start screaming panic,
He runs through screaming panic. Panic!
Oh, sweet Jeebus, it's a fire! Everyone
so you
out!
go in and start screaming fire. Captain Wilgerson calmly dabs at his at the corners of his mouth, stands and says, "Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. Looks like something is going on. I must attend to my things."
As we all must.
And he puts his hand out for his wife. She takes it. She stands up, and
We all stand up.
yeah, he calmly. Everybody else is a little panicked. It's not like a stampede or anything, but everybody else is moving quickly. He just kind of stands and walks.
the marshal's like, I said fire, people, move!
Oh no,
No, I know.
The
I'm
little
not-
people will take care of it.
Oh, of course they will.
So he heads out. The two of you see the marshal, and I assume head to him, right?
As long as clearly the Earl of Sandwich is no longer observing us.
Right. So you guys get out to the boat and row to shore. Michael.
Row to shore.
Now, do you go North Shore or South Shore?
South.
Yep.
You hit land and are immediately, like 5 minutes, you get on the land. You all meet back up, and a contingent of Marines arrives in a big boxy truck, because you're not far from a
Base.
guard station.
At this point, I think the only one that would have identification on them would be me. I don't think anyone else would have brought that with them on this boat.
No, I think you're right. So you pull out identification. Commander, do you do anything?
I identify myself as Commander Wilhelm Schultz, military attaché, and give my
Ranking
clearance AJ 12172B.
Right. So they question you shortly. You mention a fire on the boat. They offer to take you back to the command station and wait for further orders. Is that where you guys go?
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you guys have been picked up by the Marines. You're now currently sitting at the little Marine base there. It's like more of a guard outpost deal than anything. It's been a few hours, Commander. They have verified your identity in this process, but they're still waiting for word on what to do with you guys.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing? Looking through the books?
Looking
Do
through
we
Chilling
have
with
access to
coffee
the
and
books?
donuts.
looking through the journals, looking through the sketchbooks.
I'm going to the guard tower and watching to see if anyone comes close.
The ship, by this time, you've been here probably 2 hours. The ship quickly went by like nothing was wrong.
Sure, I'm keeping watch.
Wasn't very good.
Surprisingly, the fires are easy to set, especially when they're not very good, and it's just enough to cause panic, which is, I was assuming, what he was trying to do, not trying to burn the actual boat down. So,
Why didn't you burn the boat down?
I was gonna
Every
ask the
time I
same
recommend
thing.
something that involves civilian casualties, I get yelled at. So I decided not to burn the boat down just to cause some mischief.
Amen, brother.
you guys have been there a few hours. Oh, you're looking through the journals. The journals are difficult to read. And what I need you to do is make a sanity check if you're reading the journals. Which I guess is just poor Miss Augustus. No. Are you reading the journal, Scott?
No, coffee and donuts.
Coffee and donuts. Okay.
Cronuts?
Do I roll a d6?
You have to tell me if you passed or failed. That's
No, I
stuff.
failed horribly.
Roll a d6 divided in half, rounding up.
Does anything catch my eye in the trunk?
There are the books you were looking for. There's a couple other history books. There are several other history books. There are a few other occult books. I don't have a list of the books that are in there, but there are several things that are of interest to you. Just the general history books. They're not rare, but they're uncommon and hard to get a hold of.
With no other activities to keep me busy, I will probably be reading one of them.
Okay. They are mostly the history books are mostly military action.
No, probably more of the occult.
Okay. So yeah, Miss Augustus, as you're reading through this, things start to get a little creeped out. The words on the page are all in English and written in proper English, but they don't make sense. You're reading the words of a madman. You quickly realize that Wilkerson was a member of the party that Evie was in as well. And that something happened. And he has been touched by something evil. And it's causing a lot of issues for him.
So my question is, This is 1937.
Yes.
Phones,
No.
telegraph.
What do you want to do?
Get a hold of Evelyn and find out,
You could try and
or Evie and
you could
find out.
try and telegraph up there, and that would work. But it might take her time to respond by the time she got it and crafted a
I
response.
may be gone.
Yeah, it's possible. The other thing you're noticing is that he keeps talking about a group of occultists within the Nazi regime that he has joined, which probably means that he's at least a Nazi sympathizer, if not full-on Nazi.
Okay.
Which since he's an English gentleman, that's probably a problem.
All right. At the appropriate time, I would relay this to the group.
Do you
the
do it
commander.
quietly so that the Marines
Right.
that are there can't hear? Okay.
Yes. I would call the commander over and probably give him the news first,
So you call the commander
because
over.
I feel like it's a military situation.
Okay. So you call the commander over. Go ahead.
Yes, what did you need, miss?
I've been reading some disturbing things in Mr. Wilkerson's journals. It seems like he is involved with the Nazi occult group, and he is clearly a Nazi.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I wish we'd have known this. Is the boat out of the locks?
If it's not out of the locks, it will be within half an hour at most. To get it stopped would take a lot of work on your end, and you'd have to have some actual... I mean, this is damning, but this isn't...
Right.
He's not doing anything illegal. Being part of the Nazi party at this point
Not illegal.
just makes you a kind of not great guy.
Okay.
So-
Well, what year is it again?
37, they haven't even... I mean, they've done some questionable political actions, but they haven't started a war.
Right. Well, I can understand that affiliations being what they are, that's less than optimal, but thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome. I'm going to keep reading the journals to see if I can find out anything else.
Okay, thank you.
So you guys are there. Is anybody else doing anything of note?
Watching the skies and the ground.
Okay. You're there for another hour and a half or so when a commander finally arrives. It's Commander Allison. Scott, you're familiar with him by reputation only. Not that it's a bad thing. You just haven't. He's a full-on like Marine commander.
Okay.
So he falls within the same kind of deal with you. I'm sure it's separate but equal, kind of, since you're in the Navy and he's in the Marines.
Falls under that TOC,
Sure.
Table of Command.
So he arrives. It's clear that he is in charge, and the Marines here respect him, and they seem to deal with him like this is a dangerous place, and what he says goes, like you would expect. While he's there, he does. He approaches you and says, "So, strange group here.
Varied and unique skill set.
We're marking you as active roster. Is that right? It's Washington's telling me you're active.
Affirmative.
So you want to tell me about what's going on?
We're retrieving stolen property under the direction and purview of the U.S. Marshal Service.
And the 5 others are under your command?
They are... what's the... Scott doesn't remember, but
Civilian.
Scott knows. No, they are deputy marshals.
Which makes them not under your command.
Correct. They are under... I'm a deputy. I have been deputized by the marshal as well to help retrieve the stolen goods via the U.S. Marshal's Office.
I see. He kind of motions over to Gorp to join the conversation.
Okay.
And by motions, he like points at you and come here. So you just walk up?
Leisurely.
Okay. So what can you tell me, Marshal?
We're retrieving stolen goods. And that's really what you need to know, aside from we need to get this to a safe location, and we need to be in a safe location.
How dangerous? How many men?
How many can you spare?
How quickly do you need to move? I guess is the better question. Do you want to go now? I can spare probably a half dozen. Any more than that, and I'm going to need some time. I can't pull too many. Not from this one location.
How do you intend on us traveling?
That's up to you. How do you want to travel? I can provide...
Thoughts?
I can
Marshall?
provide travel down to the port, and then I can put you on a military ship out. That's the best and probably quickest option. Probably take you straight to Miami, and you can go from Miami up.
Marshall? I'm the Marshal.
You are the Marshal. Marshal? Yes, sir. What do you think, sir?
Well, I'm thinking to myself, let's ask the commander. All right.
That's whatever you'd like to do.
Let's do that.
All right. Just 6 men good? You can pick up probably another 6 or so on the way. Once you're on the ship, though.
Yeah, once we're on the ship, we won't need much. We just need 2 of the ship, and we're fine.
Okay. All right. So I can spare 6 men and a full truck.
Done.
Okay. I'll have that ready in 15 minutes at most.
All right, so then I'm going to step back and relay it to the group.
Have you eaten lately? Everything's good. Anything else you need taken care of?
Am I in earshot of this?
Yeah, you can probably hear it.
Because I haven't eaten.
No.
I haven't eaten.
He actually stops and turns away from the 2 of you and turns... I'm sorry, miss. You said you haven't eaten?
No.
He snaps his fingers and a man comes out from outside in. And he motions to you and says, feed her. And then he comes over and offers out his hand to help you stand up.
Oh, yes, I would.
Okay. And then come with me, ma'am. I'll take you
Channeling
to the
it
mess.
over Evelyn.
I can't guarantee much, but we can probably make up a sandwich or something.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And it is.
And I take the journal with me to read while I'm eating.
Okay. And it is getting later in the evening, so mess not being available,
No.
not a big deal. You guys get settled. You eat. The truck shows up. Men are in the truck waiting. You have a driver and everything. Are you guys just going to go?
Grab our trunk, put the books away, let's roll.
Absolutely.
Okay. So remember all those bullets that we talked about that you left on the boat?
When would I have left them on the boat if I'm got them on my person?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that anything in your luggage is still on the ship.
Okay. Well, then we'll probably need extra rounds for the handguns that we're...
What are you carrying? Oh, you should be fine. You probably have military.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
The
I've been-
professor...
My gun's been on my person the entire time.
Okay.
The professor probably not carrying anything again.
Okay. It's fine. No, you
Yeah, my
conveniently
shotgun
lost
and
it.
Pistol.
No, it was probably
Back
in
on the
his
ship.
room. Why would he take his gun to dinner? That would
No,
look
it's fine.
weird.
No, that makes sense. So you guys get on the truck, get headed down. You get to the port. They tell you that you have probably a 6-hour wait before the boat's going to be headed out anyway. Commander, the captain offers to meet with you, but he would rather just leave at the appointed time
Which captain?
of the ship.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a small.
Oh, well,
I wouldn't say cruiser. It'll be it's a small transport ship.
We'll leave at the appointed time.
Okay. So everything goes by 6 hours. You get on a boat and you head towards Miami. You disembark in Miami. Are you headed back to DC? I assume.
Is that where we were debriefed by the FBI folk?
Yeah.
Way
Well,
back when.
technically, I think it probably would have been in Langley, in Virginia.
Yeah, we'll leave when the boat is supposed to leave.
Okay. Yeah, and you were.
Oh, and then we'll head up to DC. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm heading to DC. I don't know what you want.
No, that's fine. No. And then, so
Okay.
you'll probably end up heading to the Pentagon or up to, to the Pentagon because there isn't anything else right now.
Wherever FBI is. 'Cause
There
I
is
think
no. Oh yeah, I guess you could go to the FBI building.
We were working for the FBI, not the marshals, but I was involved in that conversation, so I wasn't going to correct you.
No, we're fine. That's what they needed to know. Our clearance is passed. That's it.
Okay. All right. So you guys get up there, and that'll be about the point that we're going to end tonight. So that'll do us for Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep, and we will see you guys. Oh, I guess we won't see you at all. We'll talk to you guys next week.
And that will do it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Remember, you can email us at nerdsdomain@gmail.com or find us on facebook.com/nerdsdomain, on Twitter @nerdsdomain, or over at our site nerdsdom.com. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter while you're there. You can head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. We want to thank Josh Shop for our music. Don't forget you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsdomain. And check out our shirts at slashloot.com.